Hello and welcome to my Prison Architect tips and tricks video. Today I would like to show you some of the tricks you can do here. I played this game already over 196 hours, and also I played this game here since a few years, so a lot of things have changed here, latest updates, more options have been added over the time. So I would like to give an overview here about the different options and what you can do to have here a great start in this game. I really love this game. Okay, let me have a look on my list on the points. Exactly. Okay, so we're beginning here on the left side. You can see here, first of all, the gender. The reason for this is because you can choose to play a prison with males only, or you play a prison with females only. There are differences. Mainly, the main difference between the female prison and the male prison is that on the female prisons, females can have babies, and sure, the babies will stay with the mom, which means that you need here special rooms for prisoners with babies. I think when they're older, then they can get out of the prison, but in this young age, they stay with the mother in the prison. This is the change there. And on the male side, you can have a normal prison, or you can have a prison with criminal insane. But this criminal insane is this Psych Ward DLC, an add-on you need to buy. But in my personal opinion, a worthy add-on. So these are two genders. So what you see here now is the different type of people inside prisons. So you have here the prisoner, the orange man here. Then you have here, okay, I don't have this under DLC, so therefore it's here locked on my side. But as you see, I have a lot of other DLCs, but this will I explain in another video. And you see here these future uniforms. The future uniforms is because I have these add-on. Give me a second. I have to add on Future Tech Pack. This is a new add-on that is only a few months old, and I played this at the moment in some of my prisons I play. So what you can do here is you see here the different type of prisoners. What does this mean? This means also in regular prison you have different kind of issues that the prisoner have done. Yeah, for example, if somebody killed somebody, then it's for sure maximum security. But there are also minor issues that can happen. This is medium security or minimum security. It's always funny to read the texts regarding the prisoners because there are a lot of creative issues that happened while they are inside prison. So when you have 3 minutes, it's interesting to read this. So, and what you can do here is, for better distinguish between the different prisoners, you can here define for each prisoner type a color. So for example, at the moment he is gray, but I can say, okay, now I want like that the medium guy is blue, that the minimum security prisoner is blue, that the medium security prisoner is, I don't know, red, and maximum security prisoner is yellow, for example. Protective custody, I'm unsure here. Supermax, this is when you play with the when you then play and have to decide to kill people. Or Supermax is, I think, that they are always locked away, and Death Row is then when you need to decide if he should live or die. I normally don't play Death Row. Criminal insane is what I said earlier. Criminal insane means that here are the insane people, and also the insane people here need special treatment. I will explain in a later video, I think. when I started this game, there were 3 different warden types. And as you can see now, we have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 16, I think. 16 different warden types now. It's always a good start when you start with warden itself, because each of the warden has different benefits, for sure. But I think for the first run, it's completely fine when you start with warden. Also, when I started the game, there were 1 guard dog, but as you can see here now, there are a lot of guard dogs, and you can also choose. You see cats and different dog types. Some also behind DLCs, but okay. I normally use the regular guard dog when I play the game. So this is the left side here. Now we switch to the right side. On the right side, you have your base settings and DLC settings. Let's get first in DLC setting. The Free for Life is, I think this is a free DLC, and this makes really sense to set here prisoners aging. The reason for this is that in the old game there was no age handling, and therefore, when you have prisoners that are for lifetime, then it was complicated. So you can switch on here if you want that the prisoners age. This is more realistic, so I would switch this on. Then the gangs. This is a topic of its own. It's complex and complicated. I think this is also something for next video, because I need more time to explain this here. Perfect Storm, as you can see, I don't have this. I don't have this DLC. Island Bound. This is the DLC where you can set an island, and then all the stuff like prisoners and the goods need to be shipped by ships. So this is also in DLC. The Psychward DLC I mentioned earlier, and cleared for transfer. I think this is also free DLC. Unsure here. Okay, so this is the DLC things you can do. In the first round, I think I wouldn't start with Psychward, because this is I would start simple and easy to get an idea of the game, and then later on you can raise complexity. World size. World size I would always choose large, because you cannot have enough space. Luckily, you can then later on in the game extend also large areas by buying new land, but large isn't. I think large is always the right decision, because, as I said, you cannot have enough space. Then the funds. I will set the funds here to 500,000, because I want to show some things and it makes life easier. But yeah, if you're a tough guy, you can also start with less funds. But I think also for the first run, 500,000 is fine. Plot type. This is, I think, the area. Yeah, this is the area where you started. So you see here there's jungle, snowbound, desert, lunar. I normally use default. Weather and intensity. So this I like to. The problem is that this is not support anymore so much. So you see already legacy mentioned here, but I liked it really a lot, because then there was rain and snow and other stuff. It was really nice. Gangs I mentioned already. This is a bigger topic. I keep it disabled now. Dynamic reputations. Give me a second. I think this is the reputation state somehow. Okay, then Fog of War, from other games. This is tough. This is tough. So you only see what the cameras are seeing, and it's not so easy to have a camera everywhere. Failure conditions. This is a nice one. which means, for example, if too many prisoners die at one day, or other things doesn't work as expected, because you get challenges normally set from other sides, then you can fail. And I have to say, in one prison I failed, and then I was a prisoner by myself. So then I was a prisoner and had to escape my own prison. This was really a nice turn of events. But this is, you can switch this on. This makes it more realistic. Then these generate forests, lakes, and buildings means that on the ground you are starting, there is already trees, lakes, or buildings set up. This makes normally the work complicated because you have to clear areas and then build new areas. I think for the first start, I would not switch this on. The warden mode, this is also something I personally can't play with. The warden modes mean that you as warden, what I will play here is the normal mode where you like have this god view, the overview of the whole prison. And warden mode is that you are as warden going around and say what needs to be done in every area, and this is really not so good. Events is a nice one. Events is, for example, like the power producer is burning down, for example. This something can happen. Or the cooking station is burning down. Or a washing machine may burn down. Or a pipe may burst. Or the prisoners may riot more. This is really, also without it, you have enough to do, but this is an extra challenge. Temperature I also like. Temperature means that you have to keep in mind when you build a building, there is a temperature inside, and you need to have here a heating system to heat the different rooms. For example, in winter, that's not so cold, This is something you can then do in logistics. So temperature is really, good thing. Staff needs means that in the regular game, only the prisoners need something to eat and somewhere to rest. For sure, you always have staff rooms where they can rest a little bit, and relax to get new energy. But here, staff needs means that also they would like to have something to eat, for example. So you also have here need to have here staff rooms with a canteen area where the staff can eat something. Escape plans. This is also this means that the prisoners use more intelligent ways to get out of prison. For example, I had prisons where the prisoners simply jumped over the fence because their fence was broken or there was no barbed wire or something like this. So this is the point. Unlimited funds, I will switch on now. This is also good for the first start, which means that you don't have a problem with the money. And trust me, 500k are fastly gone. Heuristic research, this I wouldn't switch on for the first time. I will also leave this here off because this means you can have something like a tech tree where you can invest time or money. We will see later on to research all the things you need, like CCTV stations, phone checker, and other stuff. But I wouldn't keep this on. So then. Have a look here. Exactly. So then the next topic here is when you make here these settings, you can save these preferences. That next time you have exactly the same setting here loaded again. You don't have to make the same settings again. Then there are mutators. And mutators are additional challenges that you can switch on. For example, here more contraband, which means there are more knives or other weapons inside the prison. No tunnels. If you, I had a lot of times that I dig tunnels a lot, and then 5-6 prisoners could escape over the tunnels. So this is something that can happen easily. Um, yeah, I think this is really it's really good explained here in detail. So have a look at it. In the first run, you don't need this. You know, that's just, it's not necessary. So now we have made all the settings. I will choose here now the male prison. I switch it back to normal colors. Exactly, I use the warden, the dog, all fine. So we can start play. Okay. Now there are two important things you always have to do as first step. Press pause. So this means the game is paused, but you can still make some settings. There will be nothing built. It's like really the pause in, as you know it from other games. As you see, we have a big land here, good starting point. And you see no trees, no lakes, nothing that interrupts the idea of what I want to build. So, the first thing I always switch off because I don't like it at all is auto lights, automatic light placement. What does this mean? This means when you build a new building, then automatically the system decides where to put the lights. And this can be really annoying. For example, if you build a big area, because then it takes ages till all the lights are set up there. As the system don't know what you want to build or which room you want to define, this also means that you have to make changes later on and remove lights and stuff like that. So we switch on here, we switch off this auto lights. This makes no sense. The other important thing is directly at the beginning, you press here on reports, you see my mouse, and then on intake. So what you see here is there is already an intake defined of prisoners, but you don't want that because you see it here. There is no building, there is no canteen, there are no beds, there are no cells, there is nothing. There is no fence, there is nothing. So it makes no sense to directly start with new prisoners. As we are on the page now, maybe also a short explanation here, what this means here. So you can decide, here, do you want to what kind of prisoners do you want to have? And you can decide here the ratio, and you can see here also how many at the moment are available, but this will change. So for example, we will now close it for everybody because, as you see at the moment, there's nothing where they could go, and it makes no sense to start this way. But what you can set up here is you can say, okay, I only want min security, for example, or I want min and medium security. You see here the system then shows you what is available, you know, which prisoner type is available, and then you will get this kind of type. What I personally also like on this setting here is, give me a second, total prisoners. This is total prisoners because this means what you have here every time is following. For example, when you start with minimum medium security prisoners, this means that the minimum security prisoners normally don't have so long sentences, for sure, no? Which means that they will sooner or later leave the prison. And on the one side, you don't want to have here that the prisoners grow infinitely in your prison because you need enough beds and rooms for all prisoners. On the other side, you don't want that in the end you have 10 prisoners because all the mid security prisoners are out. When you say, for example, here total prisoners 10, this means when a prisoner leaves the prison because he is released, that the system fills up the released prisoners. That again, 10 prisoners are inside the prison. Okay, so what we do is here, everything is closed, total prisoners 0. Okay, so now we can start, because now on the one side there won't be any auto lights and there won't be any prisoners soon, which makes sense. Okay, so what you see here also is that not all of these symbols are activated yet. The reason for this is because you need to build bureaus and you need to give the people the jobs. You need to have a warden, you need to have other people here, and when you have this, then you also have these additional options here. The same is here with the reports. For example, you see here valuation finance. This one is still closed. The reason for this is because and also the others are, you see everything what's gray here means the person that can give you the feedback is not in the office at the moment, is not working for you. For example, needs, you need a psychologist. And for finance valuation, you need one moment. Okay, you see it also here. Sorry, you see it also here. You cannot have here everybody you can put inside the shop, because you need other people that then can hire the other people. So for the valuation finance, you need accounting, but for this one you need the warden. So it's always useful to start with the warden. So the first thing I would do here in the prison would be making a fence around the prison. So let's do this. I give here maybe a short overview of the right side here. So staff, here you see everybody working for you and the different type of staff. You see here also you can fire people when you press this, and then they are fired. When you go to staff, you can hire new people. Prisoners are the prisoners at the moment in your facilities or facility. Intake, we have talked 5 minutes ago regarding this topic. Jobs, this is, there you see something like a task list where you see which kind of jobs are done. For example, warden, not warden, guard opens up door and other stuff like that. So this is shown here. Okay. So then I will go here to the blue points here. So foundations, this means here I can build buildings. I can have the difference between bricks and concrete. Personally, I haven't seen any difference of both of them. Maybe there is one, I don't know. But so now, for example, we can here say concrete. Then we say this you want to build. Okay. It's only an example. You can choose your own size, what you want. Only that you get an idea. So, and now what you will see here is the trucks will come with the stuff and they will start to build this up. Then you have here bulldoze. Bulldoze means you can also remove stuff like fences or other stuff you don't need. But if you can dismantle it, like jail doors, I would always use dismantle, because trust me, sooner or later you will need it and it costs nothing. Demolish walls, yeah, easy. So you can here also remove walls and clear indoor area. This is also, for example, for I don't know, for flooring and stuff like that. Remove tunnels. This is important later on in the game, because you can also have here tunnel search. And when you make the tunnel search and there was a tunnel found, you will see it visually. And then you can remove the tunnel. Exactly. And as long as the tunnel is there, also the cell shows that it's not closed completely. So then we have more. Here we have, exactly. You can then also have different wall types, like here, different colors or different kind of walls. I like, for example, use the white wall for canteen, for example, or the tiled wall for the criminal insane. Then walls and doors. Here's the fence. Keep in mind, for the fence is without barbed wire, which means when we would put here now a fence around it, without barbed wire, it can happen that prisoners will run to it and jump over it and are out of the prison. So you have two different points. First is build a fence. You can decide if under the fence is grass growing or not. And then you can go to objects and there's barbed wire and you can put then the barbed wire on the fence. So different wall types I have explained already. Electrified fence. Oh, this is a new one. This I haven't tried yet. And glass wall. Nice. Okay. Glass wall. Okay. Glass wall is also, I think this is also a new one. Nice. And then when you have walls, you also need doors. So you have here different kind of doors. Large jail doors always make sense in main entrance, for example, that a lot of people can go through it. Small jail doors are for smaller rooms. I think I will later on here switch to one of my existing prisons that you have an idea regarding how it looks when something is built, because it would take too long now to wait here till this is building. Trust me, this will take some time till this is built. Also, when we make here, another point is here. You can also here increase the speed of the building. You see, now I have the high speed here, but still, trust me, this takes a long time till this is built. So we won't wait today for this. So you have here different doors, jail doors, regular doors, staff doors. Staff doors means that only staff is allowed to open the door, but if there's a shared room, it can always happen that the prisoner sneaks in. Remote door. I think this needs to be switched from a separate room, for example. Keycard door. This is a new thing, I think, from a DLC that I also didn't try yet. Okay. Then we have flooring. Flooring means what kind of tiles or other things you would like to have on the floor. I will show later on in an existing prison. And landscape. Interesting. Here you can also change the fields outside. For example, here flower field. I don't use this often, therefore sorry. And then you have different kind of rooms. I don't want to keep this video so long, so I think regarding these rooms, I will explain this in the next tips and tricks video. Sorry. Then you have objects, and the same with the objects. There are so many. A good thing is here nowadays you can also here filter. For example, if you want to make the catering, for example, canteen, then you can say catering, and you only see here catering relevant stuff for the staff area or for the canteen, or entertainment, or exercise. So this is really helpful when you're working on some special area. The packs means that here you can then decide if you want some from which DLC you would like to have here the content. As you see, I have not all DLCs, but most of them. But you don't need the DLC at the beginning. Start with this free DLC, get a hang of it, and later on you can then buy in a Steam sale. You can buy then the other DLCs. And the best one is for sure Psych Ward, in my personal opinion. Okay, so you have different objects you can build. Also, they are much more nowadays than was at the beginning, and I really love it. Okay, then staff. Here you can then hire your staff what you need. So this is interesting now, but this I will also show then in an existing prison. Here you can define the electrical connections and the waterways, or the pipe, how the pipe is going. And the wiring, this is connected to the CCTV, and also, let me have a look, CCTV, and also, I don't see it, no, I don't see it. You can also check the phone tap, exactly, and you can also tap the phones and hear what the prisoners are talking about. Then this I will also explain in the next prison. Give me a second. Then here, this I love the most. These are the quick builds. And the quick builds means, for example, we want now to hire a warden. So we say here, okay, I need an office. I put it here, and I have everything inside I need for this office. And then I can hire a warden, and the warden will use the office. But I need more than one offices. I need for a lot of jobs that they have their own offices. Topic, longer topic. But what you can see here is you have for every main room you have here a preset build. And I think for a first start, it's really, really a good start to use this, to get an idea about the different rooms, get an idea how to build the rooms. For example, I always build the canteen and kitchen by myself, but the office, I always use here the quick build because it's much faster. Also solitary cell, I use the quick build. Where do I use the quick? Also padded cell, I like to use the quick build. Also improved cell, I like to use the quick build. So there are really reasons to use this. There's custom with cloning, but this I will show you in another prison. Then you have here a planning part, which means that you can here already plan. For example, if you want to have here something like, I don't know, a gym or common room or something else, or here a staff room, so you can make already here plans, and to have an idea in general how big the rooms are, and to plan ahead. And then there's emergencies. This is also something I show in the other prison. So what I will do now is I will load now one of my prisons I've worked a few hours on already. So give me a second. Where is it? Escape to get into the menu. Load prison. And then I load the insane prison. As you see, I also had a few tries of prisons. And as you can see, also I played this game a few years already. Not more to say to that. So I load the prison. Okay, so give me a second. So what was open to show? Yeah, here. One thing here. So for example, here you see the different staff types. So here the accountant has his own room. The warden for sure has his own room. The chief has his own office. Foreman has his own office. I have a lot of foremen, so I have 2 offices for the foremen. Now we go back to this utility stuff, because now you see in a running prison what this means. So you see this yellow lines. The coloring indicate regarding how much power is used. So you see here, this is yellow, so there's still a lot of Still a lot of space left. I can use much more energy. But for example, do we have one here? No, they're really pretty fine. And what helps here always is when you have the problem that this one here is really high, you can set this capacitors. I think highest is 9. And when you add capacitors, this means that you can handle more power. So as you see here, sometimes it's useful, instead of building a new power station, to build here capacitors. Then you see here, you have to only route the main lines here. All the black lines with the light will be done by the staff. But what you see here, for example, there's always needs to be a main line in nearby that you can do this. You see here, for example, metal detector or the washing machines. I switched to normal view to see it. Washing machines, metal detector, they need they are high power usage, so therefore they need here direct connection. Same here with the cooking field. Same here with the cooking field. It also needs high direction. So this is the power wiring. The next one is the water wiring. You see here the big ones are the big pipes. You should always keep in mind to not put the big pipes too near to the prison cells, because they can dig a hole and use it to escape. So as you see here, what I did in my prison is there are big pipes, but they are never inside the near of the prison cells itself. They are always here beforehand. And you see here also 2 colors, blue and red. Blue means it's cold water, and a lot of stuff, cold water is fine. And red is hot water. And for the hot water, you need here the water boiler. And the water boiler, when you switch back to electrical, also need here dedicated power. But then you can see, you can also here, for example, the sink works better when there's warm and cold water. The shower also is nicer, as you know by yourself. It's warm and cold. This is also clear. So you see it here. No? And the wiring in this prison, I don't have here this special room. Special room, I mean give me a second to find it. If you don't find something here, this is really also in objects. You can always here inside the search bar type something. For example, chair. And then it shows everything with a chair. Or another example, table. This is much easier because, trust me, sometimes you don't see the icon you would like to build. And then you put your table, and then you see what you're searching for. And what I was talking about is the medical classroom. Is this scared? No. Laundry, library. Security. This is what I mean. So when you, for example, you see, I'm sorry, I don't have enough money at the moment. But this is here where you can then control the gates, and this is something for another video. The other topic I mentioned earlier was this clone feature. So this clone feature is really neat, because what does it do? For example, I have here a really nice cell setup I built by myself. I think I also have extended it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So, but I would like to have the same one below. Then I go here to clone, and I say okay. With a clone, and then with the right button, I say I would like to have this here cloned. And then you see it's like copy paste. I can put it here below. I put it below, and then they will build exactly the same thing. This is really helpful when you have stuff like here with the psych wards, where you need some special handling, or here also when you have here a special cell defined, and then it's much easier here to clone and extend. I really also use this feature often. Okay, so let me have a look on my list. Exactly. So this is everything I want to show you here in my first video. Please do me a favor, leave a comment and write down what you would like to get explained in next videos. That I will also put this on my list and then explain in detail. I hope you liked here my overview over the Prison Architect game. And trust me, there's much more to tell, but I think that's enough for the day. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day. Bye bye.